Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Closing Comments here on September 2nd. Let's jump right into our charts and see how we kicked off the new week. Starting off here with our October live cattle. Did see a pretty quiet day in the cattle market, just prices balancing out, hanging steady here, up here near these all-time highs. We did see this morning this market kick out above that bull pivot there at 240 briefly, running up to the high of the day up there at 241.20. Failed to get any real traction, failed to really have some follow through there, price pulling back and finishing the day almost unchanged. Pretty quiet day here, not a whole lot to be excited about. This cattle market still remains strong and healthy. We'll just have to wait and see if we can get more follow through above 240 and today's high. As we go into tomorrow's session, we could see that upside start to continue up there into those all-time highs. But in the meantime, look for this market to kind of balance out here until we can get a close above 240 or a breakdown back below 236 here, which could lead to a pullback. But in the meantime, not a whole lot of directional signals here today. This market is kind of balance out and maintaining these higher prices. October feeders here, also seeing a nice poke above that bull pivot there at 365.20 early today. However, this market failed to see any sustained upside here as well. No real follow through. High of the day coming in up there at 367.15. Rejecting that high and pulling back, ended up closing a little lower actually today. Hanging steady, pretty tight range day here. Prices just hanging steady up here near these all-time highs. This market still remains healthy and strong. We do expect to see this upside continue, but at the moment, price is just kind of balancing out and consolidating up here near these record highs. Good sign for the bulls is that they're just holding it pretty steady up here. This market should keep on cruising. At the moment, we're just going to have to wait and see if we can get any more follow through of 365 tomorrow, and we should see that upside continue if we do get bids above there. But in the meantime, look for this market to kind of hang steady until we can get a break above either above or below our pivot points for the week. Corn prices following through to the upside here today. We did see this market flush back down here, briefly undercutting that bear pivot during the overnight session, but a pretty strong rally during the day session, pushing this market back up there. Finishing the day above our trend line. Nice strong push up there into the mid 420s, and looking like this thing is going to start making some upside here in the near term. This market's going to start sniffing out this 430 to 435 level next. We'll have to wait and see how this market reacts once we get up to there. But at the moment, pretty strong reversal here. Good volume breaking out above a new monthly high and this 50-day moving average. At the moment, we're starting to see a little bit of a breakout above this downtrend line here as well. So we could see more upside come in this corn market here in the near term. Look for it to start pushing up there into the 430 area. And we could see a new potential uptrend be forming here in this corn market. So we'll just keep monitoring that situation here as we go throughout this week. Corn markets, crude oil markets seeing some strength today. Above average volume buying today, pushing this market back above that 50-day moving average and getting a close above that 65 bull pivot. At the moment, this market failed to see any follow through down here towards the $60 mark. Just kind of been consolidating in tight ranges up here in these low 60s. We're starting to see a little bit of upside here back above that 50-day moving average. However, there's still just not a whole lot of directional cues here in this market at the moment. Would be expecting to see this market continue to chop up here in between the low 60s to high 60s, anywhere between the $62 and $70 mark. We wouldn't be surprised to see this market just kind of chop sideways and continue in this low volatility environment. Look for that sideways action to continue. At the moment, with this breakout above 65, we could see this thing start to flow up here towards this 200-day moving average and up there into the high 60s, but not really expecting any strong moves at the moment. Still expecting this corn market or crude oil market to continue chopping up and be a pretty low volatility market. Equity markets had a nice breakdown, big gap overnight over the weekend, and selling pressure pushing down to low of the day on this S&P futures contract to 63.71. Nice breakdown, real strong rally into the close here today. However, we did see this market pushing lower up into the midday and then had a real strong rally up there into the close, pushing this thing all the way off of those lows up there, about 70, 80 points higher. So pretty nice recovery there at the close of the day. Pretty wide range though, coming off the holiday weekend. Wouldn't be surprised to see this market continue to flush back down here towards this 50-day moving average or start to balance out here in this wide daily range we saw today. Let's jump over to our other indexes. Nasdaq bouncing off that 50-day moving average, showing a nice recovery there. At the moment, we do have a lower high here, it looks like, forming on this Nasdaq index. So if we start to get some follow through down here below this 50-day moving average, we could see a deeper pullback come into play. Big picture uptrend still remains intact, but would be healthy for this market to pull back closer to that 8 to 10% range. This would offer a pretty good deep value area to be buying and shake out some of the loose leaves and weak hands in this market. Be a healthy corrective move to resume during a healthy corrective move during a seasonally weak period before we resume this uptrend as we head into quarter 4. We still do expect to see equity prices be higher into year end, but near term we could see a little bit of volatility in the near term as we do have some big news events coming out this week. So be on the lookout for some morning pre-market news events to kind of shape these markets up. We would like to see a deeper pullback here, find some deeper value areas before adding in those equity indexes, and see some of those growth names kind of form some solid bases beneath the surface and get this market rolling back to the upside. But in the near term, be looking for a little more upside or downside to continue or consolidation here around these major moving averages. That's all we got for this evening. Everyone have a good night.